gonna be alright. Cause there is no other name, no way under the sun. Who could walk upon the seas and calm the raging storm? The Prince of Peace, King Jesus is his name. From the beginning of time, his love remains the same. So let me tell you, the love of the Lord will never let you down. Never, never let you down.
Oh, good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Coop, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to the link up on Good Morning Grenada. How was your weekend? Hope it was great. Hope you got some rest. Well, that's all I do, eh? 28 minutes on to 7 o'clock. That is the time.
The Lord will never let you down, I know.
Never does.
But He's sure to place your feet on solid ground.
He always will.
Jesus is the way to wash away your sins. So take up your cross, my friends, and follow Him. Time to wake up and follow.
It's that time of the day again.
Never let you down. Time to wake up and follow.
When we get into the nitty-gritty of things.
Jesus is the way to wash away.
Of course, as always, I want to urge you to think positive thoughts, healthy thoughts, happy thoughts. Notwithstanding the fact that the world is a very, very troubling place. Yeah, things often go wrong. Well, that's the way it is, you know, when times get tough, you know. But that's okay. You've got a life, so there is the possibility that things will turn around, and they often do, eh? You just got to learn to give the time some time. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Give the time some time, and with time, things work themselves out, you know. You've got to push, but, you know, don't push too hard. Nice. So once again, if you're joining us for the first time, good morning to you. It's that time again when we get to the program. And this morning, our word of the day it's an adjective. It's the word tactile, yeah? And it is spelled Tactile. And it describes something related to the sense of touch. It can also be used to describe something that is intangible, that is perceptible by touch. All right, and we can use that word that way. With the introduction of haptics to smartphones, receiving a call from a friend became a much more tactile experience. All right, so remember that. Tactile. That's the word of the day. Write it down, jot it down, learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it. Most importantly, you learn to use it, whether it's in your speech or in your writing, okay? So do that, and yeah, the intent of this is to improve your vocabulary, all right? Make your writing and your speech more decorative. Yeah, understand? Nice. Let's now look at what the thought of the day is today. Today, the thought of the day is make understanding the goal of your communication instead of agreement. Make understanding the goal of your communication instead of agreement, all right? Understand what is being said to you before you just adopt the agreement attitude. Yes, I agree. Understand what is being put forward first, okay? So make understanding your goal of communication instead of agreement. Make sure that you are understood, and make sure the person or persons that you are communicating with understand you. 25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock workers, please. You should be close to the JOB already. You need to give yourself that 15 minutes on the job before you can actually start producing, all right? Nice. Now we've got the topics that are buzzing, and this one is a bit, it's a bit sad. Yeah, has everyone on edge. Now, information has reached the GBN about a possible drowning of a male at Russian Point in St. David. Now, that area is well known for its rough seas. The GBN understands that police are seeking to notify all family members, and as such, details are not being shared with the media. However, GBN will keep you abreast and provide you with more information when it becomes available. I do look for the best outcome in this situation. I wish that is, maybe the person is just somewhere else. All right, recharged and energized, so says the re-elected president of the Public Workers Union. He says that's Mr. Brian Grams. He is ready to continue PWU's work. I extended my congratulations to him on Friday. And as a matter of fact, he was supposed to join me on Saturday. He got here, but unfortunately had to leave before we could have spoken a word. But once again, congratulations to you and the team of the PWU. Also buzzing this morning, NIS holds first consultation. All right, the Grenada National Insurance Scheme held its first consultation on Thursday as it charts the way forward in developing new policies and services within the institution. That's buzzing. And right, MNIB now and then. What's the difference between then and now? That's a wide-ranging question. Its context here relates to this week's focus on Grenada's progress 44 years after its flirtation with a revolutionary style of governance from 1979 to 1983. That's buzzing. That is buzzing also. And the Minister for MIT, that's the Honorable Andy Williams, he's appealing to Grenadians to take pride in their country and cease the practice of littering. He's working towards surprising Grenadians returning home to a transformed Grenada. Yeah, I like that initiative. It's about time that we really take pride and, not litter. Littering is ugly, man. You imagine you driving behind someone else's vehicle and someone all of a sudden throws out a bottle or a plastic bag or a box or something. It's rather unsightly, It has a lot to do with pride, and not because someone is not watching. That's where true character comes out. Doing the right thing even if no one is watching. If you're gonna eat or drink in your vehicle, have a plastic bag or something to hold it until you reach the appropriate dumping site, your home or a dustbin or something. Not just throw it out of your vehicle, man. It's unsightly. It's dangerous as well. A bottle coming out from a vehicle could crash into another vehicle or pedestrian. So avoid that. So I think that's a wonderful initiative by Minister Andy Williams. Yeah, so folks, let's work along with him. All right. Financial sector concerns. The financial services sector, they came under scrutiny last week in a town hall meeting. The burden of doing business with banks was featured prominently. Yeah, I heard a good friend of mine all the way from New York talking about it. The troubles with doing business with the banks. And I must confess that, man, there are times you wonder, if it's real. You're trying to, get a transaction completed, and the red tape and bureaucracy, man, it's so, in this day and age, you're taking so much time to get a transaction done. You've got a wire transfer, and you have other, business transactions, and it takes, we expect it to be at the flip of a button, but it's not always like that. Nonetheless, those are the stories that are buzzing this morning. We should be having some guests at some point in time this morning. I presume, I think it's going to be someone from the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. And once that is gotten rid of, then we will be doing, our conversation. We have quite a number of topics. to touch on this morning. Now, just before we go off, because we've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather coming up. And for those of you on the television platform, we have the Weekend Review. Just see what's happening on our Facebook page. Janice Let Joseph says, good morning and have a wonderful day. Good morning to you, Janice. Catherine Phillips says, good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Innocent. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I rested a lot. I couldn't do anything else. Alison Cox Osplund says, where is Russian Point and why that name? Russian Point is a bay in somewhere in St. David. I honestly do not know exactly where, but I don't know the reason for that name, but that's the name that it's called, Russian Point. Okay. Rochelle Cummings says, good morning, Grenada. Love you all. God bless Grenada. God bless you too, Rochelle. Have yourselves a wonderful day. So, folks, this is where we take that break and get into a line of commercials that would lead us into the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather. Don't you move a muscle. Stick right there. We'll be back with you. And, we'll be back after 7, after the news, sports, and the weather. Stick and stay with us. Bye for now.
Someone to help you to your feet. I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you. No, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands. We got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you ride, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you ride, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I am Beverly Telesford bringing you the details. The Deacon Mitchell administration has been served notice that it will have no easy ride with the proposed data protection bill. Two organizations made it clear that they want the proposed legislation taken to the sphere of public opinion before it's tabled in Parliament.
Parliament is slated to debate the 2023 Data Protection Bill on Tuesday. It contains 8 parts and seeks to promote the protection of personal data processed by public and private bodies, to provide for the functions of the Information Commission and for related matters. The part of the bill creating controversy surrounds the authority given to the police to search the property of anyone believed to have committed an offense under the Data Protection Act. The search can be conducted once an oath is signed by an authorized officer. The warrant allows the authorized officer to inspect, operate, examine, and test any equipment found on the premises that is used or is intended to be used to process personal data. It also allows for the inspection and seizing of documents and other material found on the premises that may be considered evidence of a crime. According to Section 33 of the new legislation, the bill will require any person on the property to provide an explanation of any document or other material found on the premises. They will also be required to provide other information to determine whether the data user has committed an offense. The opposition New National Party has already signaled its position on the bill, saying that although it is necessary, there must first be consultation with stakeholders. The opposition party says it has no option but to object to its tabling in the Parliament. The Independent Caucus for Constitution Reform has also registered its staunch opposition to the proposed legislation. It has penned an open letter to Attorney General Claudette Joseph outlining its concerns. The caucus is demanding that the bill be withdrawn from the order paper and referred to citizens to provide feedback. In a warning shot to the ruling administration, the caucus made it clear that members reserve the right to use all available measures measures to protect the Constitution and the fundamental rights and freedoms afforded within. Giovanni Thomas, a member of the caucus, expressed two of their primary concerns to the GBN.
So 33 of this bill is a clear violation of Chapter 1, Section 1, Subsection 3 of the Constitution, which speaks to privacy to one's home. Section 33 is a clear violation of this constitutional provision. Our concerns further go on to Section 45, which speaks to protection of criminal or civil proceedings. It says that no criminal or civil proceeding shall lie against the Commission or against any person acting on behalf or under the direction of the Commission for anything done reported or said in good faith in the course of the exercise or performance or purport exercise, discharge or performance of any power or duty or function of the Commission under this Act. What this section of the bill is saying is that for any crimes committed by the Commission, they cannot be prosecuted. Within Grenada, our Grenadian society is ruled by a concept called the rule of law, where no matter what law applies, everyone is subjected to it. Nobody is above the law. The rule of law applies to everyone, and we must respect that principle.
The ICCR said the bill, while claiming authority to enter people's private property, does not state constitutional reference which authorized the actions contained within. It cited Section 106 of the Grenada Constitution, which provides specific circumstances in which the protection of freedom of expression and the protection from arbitrary search and entry can be suspended. Up to the time of filing this report, there was no indication from the ruling administration as to whether it plans to backtrack or give in to the demand of the Independent Caucus on constitutional reform. For GBN News, Janelle McDonald.
The House of Representatives met on Tuesday to debate on the proposed Data Protection Act. The opposition lobbied for a pause of the bill until it's ventilated in the public domain.
Did you have the fear and concern about our citizens' rights when you sat in cabinet in March of 2022 and approved this bill? No.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, as he questioned the opposition's concerns for the people when the Data Protection Bill was approved by the former administration in 2022.
When we passionately claim that we are concerned about legislation that we ourselves approved, that we initiated, this was dormant.
His response came after opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell expressed disagreement of the Data Protection Bill in its present construct and called for members of the House to agree to suspend the bill until further consultations are held.
Clearly, there are aspects of this bill that we should be discussing, pros and cons. But my intervention and seeking the support of the government is for us not to proceed with this bill at this time so that wide consultation can be held.
Member of Parliament for the town of St. George, Peter David, told the House of Representatives that there's a sense of fear in the atmosphere over the bill.
And we support the data protection legislation. Anytime legislation is being passed where, as they say it in the US, Big Brother is being given more powers to invade what people believe is privacy, people become extremely concerned. So we are not just making this thing up. It is a fear out there. In fact, I see people talking about how could they just come and search you. No, I'm not suggesting that I support the concern, but these concerns must be allayed.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell accused the opposition of going to Parliament to argue legislation which they themselves drafted and approved.
Why are we coming here? To give the impression that this government wants to push legislation down the throat of the citizens of Grenada when you are the ones who initiated, reviewed, drafted, and approved the legislation.
The Prime Minister told the House of Representatives the bill does not have to go as is and is subject to be amended at any time if the need arises. The Data Protection Bill seeks to promote the protection of personal data processed by public and private bodies. In other news, a tax amnesty was announced in the 2023 budget, and the Inland Revenue Department is hoping that taxpayers take advantage of this so that they won't have to face the heavy hammer of the law. Rena Perry-Thomas has this report.
It will be a new tune to dance to for taxpayers who refuse to pay their taxes in the year 2023. Officials from the Inland and Revenue Department say that they will be taking a different approach in dealing with delinquent individuals and businesses on their tax payment. Appearing on GBN's To The Point program, Deputy Controller Randy Cadet says the full force of the law will be exercised.
Government made it clear to the nation that you have up until the end of this year to make good on those outstanding arrests. So come January 2024, our enforcement measures, we will be able to look into our Tax Administration Act, all the powers that were given to us, to garnish accounts, liens on accounts, seize property, publish what one may say a blacklist, but we call it a delinquency list. Present that delinquency list to the customs, present that delinquency to the magistrate court to prevent you from transferring property, to prevent you from importing goods. These are some of the powers that are given to us in that Tax Administration Act. Okay. And in January 2024, we stand resolute that we will go out and enforce all the laws that are given to us. Right.
In informing the public on the tax amnesty offered by government, Cadet says this does not mean that persons are exempted from paying taxes owed before 2022.
All taxpayers who have arrears due to the state up until the end of December 2021, that the government of Grenada, through its Inland Revenue, through our Inland Revenue Division, will be willing to waive 100% on the interest and on the penalty. And I want to repeat that because we are hearing views also outside the GT where government is giving up taxes. We are not giving up taxes. We are waiving the interest and the penalties that were accrued on those existing amounts up until December 2021. We're talking about the value of the tax. We are talking about personal income tax, corporate income tax, withholding tax, all existing taxes administered by the Inland Revenue Division.
Senior Tax Inspector Joel Johnson outlines how individuals can take advantage of the amnesty, which expires in December of this year.
You could do it different ways. Of course, persons who like to come in at the Inland Revenue, you could come in at any one of our offices, whether it is Inland Revenue St. George, or any one of our district revenue offices, whether it's in Carriacou, or St. Patrick, or St. Andrew. You could go in there and you could have an idea as to exactly what your tax balance is. Once they tell you what your tax balance is, they're going to let you know, okay, well, if you're taking advantage of the amnesty and you're only paying the tax figures and not the penalty and interest, you have to now pay X amount. And of course, the period that the amnesty is running for is between now, January 2023, right up to December. So which means you have almost a year, or right now 3 months already gone, but you still have another 9 months to pay off that balance. So you could choose to make one payment and just clear it off and just finish with that. But if you want to do a payment plan or a payment arrangement, there will be officers there who will be able to assist you and let you know, okay, based on the amount that you owe, if you pay X amount monthly, by December you're going to finish making the payments and your account could be cleared.
The general public is encouraged to call or visit the Inland Revenue main or sub-offices for more information. For GBN News, I am Rena Perry-Thomas reporting.
Welcome back to the Week in Review. As we begin the second segment, we listen to the concerns of a physically challenged businessman. He spoke with GBN's Chrislina John.
Thinking to myself, and I'm hoping to God that the PM and others could find funding to try to assist us before the year has ended. Because there's an old saying, while the grass is growing, the horse is starving. And it's decades I have not found a job, and it's difficult.
Kimani Latouche, who is physically challenged. However, he did not let that get in the way of attaining full certification as an electrician and technician. Latouche operates his own registered small business repairing appliances. He says he has applied for the CES grant since last year, and during a recent visit to the office at the National Stadium was given this news.
It's only this week I received I went to the stadium to find out, and it was like, oh, money's finished. Now I'm thinking to myself, this was not done properly. If you're trying to, the government has a thing where they said they're going to cater for persons who are in need. Looking at my situation, I'm into small business. I have a registered small business. So one would have thought that I also have a physical disability or physical challenge. So one would have thought that I would have given preferential, or we would have given preferential treatment where that grant is concerned.
Mr. Latouche says he has been financially strapped and was hoping to secure government's assistance through the CES program to create a safer and more conducive workspace.
Clearly, I need to build a workshop. I work from the veranda of my home. When the rain falls, it flies in, and when you're doing electronics, that's a no-no. We're talking about current, we're talking about water, that's a combination for death. So once there's rain falling, I don't do anything. Yeah. The costing of that, if my mind is right, it was something like $26,000, material and labor. Already was given some assistance from my family in the US, whereby I have at least 80% parts that I need in the house.
This is how he believes applicants and applications from the physically challenged people should have been handled.
How they should have structured this thing is that persons who would have applied through the Council of Disabled, those names should have been put in a folder and put at the head of the 2,000 plus or 3,000 plus persons that would have applied. Because it's difficult for us to find a job on the job market. I'll be 48 this year, and for years I've been trying to find a job outside there. Show them this document in my hand here. This is going to still be a no-no. They're not going to look at this. They're going to look at me first of all before they see this.
He is hopeful that some form of aid can be given to people like him in the not-too-distant future. GBN sought to verify the claims made by Mr. Latouche, and we reached out to a government official who referred us to advisor to the Ministry of Economic Development and Planning, Mr. Orlando Romaine. Efforts to reach him proved futile. Christina John, GBN News.
On Monday, we remembered Grenada's revolution, lessons learned, and recommendations for forward mobility, and highlighting the significance of that era. Christina John has this report.
March to Hungry House, forward march. Alistair march against oppression, forward march. Now Grenadians of all divisions, end of misery and oppression. So we build Grenada full with our song. Forward march, forward march, forward march against imperialism.
Few may recall the unofficial national anthem of Grenada during the 1979 to 1983 era. It's 44 years since the Grenada Revolution took place. Records show that on March 13, 1979, members of the New Drill Movement, the NJM, breached the Grenada Defense Force, the GDF headquarters at True Blue, and set things in motion. In an exclusive with GBN on Monday, director at the Grenada Museum, John Angle Canvas Martin recalled some of the events of that period, which he believes provided a space for Grenadians to see things from different perspectives through exploration.
I think the revolution really gave us an opportunity. It opened our minds. I think for the first time, even though one could look at the Eric Gary and his his movement back from 1951, Sky Red, that it did change. It did bring about a big change, but the revolution brought about a more massive change, I think, because of the time in which it happened and because of all the stuff that was going on in the world. I think there were lots of lessons to be learned from that. Unfortunately, we threw out the baby with the bathwater, so everything went out the door, as opposed to saying, hey, I think this worked, let's continue with this. This didn't work, we need to retool it. So I think for me, it's looking at that history and saying, there were certain elements that really worked well, let's go with that.
Martin recommends more dialogue, especially in schools, about the Grenada Revolution to embrace the significance of this date in our history. It is said that many saw the revolution as a new beginning for Grenada following the economic and political turmoil of the 1970s.
The key things with the new government, the NDC government, is the Ministry of Mobilization, and that is definitely something that's taken a page out of the revolution. It's also interesting that the Marketing Board, which was a product of the revolution, is something that we've now closed down, or we're looking to change. Because it hasn't worked out, as well as we had thought it would. But I think that shows the impact of the Grenada Revolution on our continuing discussion of development in Grenada, and I think it's something that we need to teach more of. I think that younger people definitely need to know more about the revolution. They need to know more about our history in general, but something as modern as that, something that recent, that has had such a massive impact, on our thinking and our politics and our economics, should definitely be taught much more in schools.
The NJM had taken power by means of a coup, the first in the English-speaking Caribbean.
Meanwhile, the government is following the modern ways of the world. It's joining the digital movement as it looks for different methods to engage the youth. Cherry and Blackman Stephen tells us about government's step toward the online job market.
Advisor to the Ministry of Economic Development and Planning with responsibility for ICT and the creative economy, Orlando Romaine, has announced an initiative geared towards the country's tech-savvy generation as a means of employment. Addressing last evening's town hall meeting in St. David, Mr. Romaine disclosed government's plans to provide training and employment opportunities online for 10,000 people by 2027.
We'll do an introductory course into the gig economy, what it is, how you make money from the gig economy. 2, allow persons to be trained in key skills such as programming, graphics design, animation, content writing, digital marketing. And then 3, we're going to handhold persons in setting up their first gig account or freelancer account and landing and securing their first job, receiving their first payment in their account, after which they will go off on their own. So it's not just training for training's sake, it's training for job creation. And I'm really excited about this one. Within the next 4 years, by 2027, we're looking to train at least 10,000 persons and equip them to work online.
This falls under a gig economy program called Grenada Work Online.
And as you would have heard during the course of the week, there is a debate right now on the data protection bill, which is a key component of that transition. We also have in the process the electronics communications bill, which will also go to Parliament soon. Those bills are fundamental if we are to transition to a digital society, because we need to protect our citizens. All right, we're also looking to strengthen certain key infrastructure, particularly connectivity and broadband, so that we can have the types of speed and internet connectivity necessary to drive a digital society.
Romaine also disclosed that the plans utilizing the online platform, including a digital national identification.
I know this may sound a bit spooky, but it is something that is quite necessary. If you try to go and open a bank account, you need several documents and you have to go back and forth to open an account. With a national digital ID, you would have all your identification on one application that can allow you to open a bank account in minutes.
The The Deacon Mitchell administration is embarking on the Grenada Work Online initiative, just as the world sees an uptick in the digital nomad phenomena. In contemporary usage, the term broadly describes a category of highly mobile, location-independent professionals who are able to live and work remotely from anywhere in the world with internet access, due to the integration of mobile technology into everyday life and work settings. While this started many years ago, this became even more evident at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic and has grown significantly in its aftermath. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
For only the second time in history, the Spice Boys will battle the United States of America on home soil. On home soil. Grenada plays the USA in League A of the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24, 2023 at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Kickoff time, 8 p.m. Get your tickets now. $75 EC for the lower main stand, $50 EC for the upper main stand, $40 EC for the secondary stand, and $25 EC for the bleachers. Tickets available now online at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical in Grandad, Turkey's Bar opposite the bus terminal, Nixon Bites Gore, Shy's Bar Victoria, Calico Sates, Maxie's Bar Grenville, and St. David Pharmacy. Grenada versus the USA.
Ballistic on the run. Ballistic has
Friday, March 24, 2023 at 8 p.m. Be part of history.
God bless you. This is Pastor Donnie McClifford, and I'm coming to the island of Spice. That's right. I'm coming to Grenada on Friday, April the 7th at 7 p.m. at the National Stadium. It's going to be a fantastic night of praise and worship that will bring glory to God and start a revival throughout Grenada. And I want to give special honor to all of the pastors that are working tirelessly throughout Grenada to make this possible. I come to pay honor to you as well. Don't forget, Friday, April the 7th at 7 p.m. at the National Stadium. Donnie McClurkin in concert in Grenada. I'll see you there.
Health, are you ready? Good. At the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, we have prioritized as well as branded the year 2023 as the year of mental health and wellness. So we are extremely excited about it. Staff is excited about it. So thank you very much. Let's rock.
Shift the paradigm, mobilize and get back alive.
Grenada, this is the big one. The countdown has begun for the grand launch of Project Grenada Shifts. Safer, healthier, innovative moves for a transformative society. This mega event takes place on Thursday, 23rd March at Lassages Plainfield, St. David, with a massive health and wellness fair from 12 noon, a wellness walk from 5 p.m. led by Prime Minister the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and Health Minister Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lecret from the St. David Health Center to Lassages Plainfield. Fitness drills, health screenings, loads of entertainment, and much more, all powered Wakati sound system. So register early to get your t-shirts and paraphernalia by contacting the Ministry of Health on telephone 440-2649 extension 21021 or the St. David Health Center at 444-6249. Mark your calendars and join us. Move that body. Take full control of your health and wellness. This event is organized by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs.
Island Star's annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tiles to be had with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tiles store-wide. Buy all we have in a low stock model and watch your discounts skyrocket with a huge 50% off. Plus, get chip edge tiles for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grandad or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
Affordable
quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Grenada James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
Made possible by Guardian General Insurance, Rubis, get going, Dasani Water and Power Aid, and the National Lotteries Authority.
And engage with the experts, help to find common solutions for common problems during this COVID situation. We fighting to protect our livelihood across the nation. This is for we to learn, share ideas and concerns, to live life like we deserve. We must change we mindset first. Build strong economies, closer societies. We all have a duty. CEF is for me and you. CEF is for me and you. Caribbean Economic Forum.
Welcome to the highly anticipated second season of Caribbean Medical TV, the first and only medical TV series that showcases the Caribbean and the emerging issues on all health and wellness forums in our region. Like season 1, the voices of our very own citizens, our local and regional doctors and medical experts forged the basis of the show. This season, we take the first groundbreaking original show even further. This series aims to empower our people with knowledge, from ways of detecting to ways of healing ourselves, protecting citizens with chronic diseases from COVID-19, while showing how they can manage their conditions effectively and safely receive needed health care while preserving what constitutes the very core of our Caribbean culture, its predilection for flavor, spirit, and rhythm. This is truly a holistic wellness agenda for our Caribbean people.
wait to see my granddaughter.
All right, viewers and listeners, welcome back to Good Morning. This aspect of Good Morning Grenada, we're having the conversation this morning, and as I hinted to you, I've got some wonderful guests in the studio. I am going to give each of them the opportunity to formally introduce themselves. I'm going to start from my extreme right. Good morning to the lady in green.
Good morning to you, Innocent. Good morning to your listeners and viewers. I'm Carla Wilson, a member of the Coop Bank Pump It Up Fun Walk Committee.
Good. And the cheese in the sandwich from the Guardian Group.
Never been called that before. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, fellow participants and you TV and I am Ronald Hughes, representing Guardian General Insurance Services Limited.
Okay. And to my immediate right.
Good morning, everybody. I am Nicole Forte, physical therapist, and I'm here to consult on behalf of the Pump It Up.
All right. Pump It Up, Pump It Up, Pump It Up has been a hotbread topic in recent times, and for more reasons than one. But I think the fact that after coming out from the pandemic and you had this hiatus, you're back and it's really a talking point. Where do we start? We start with Ms. Coop Bank. Give us a feedback as to what's been happening thus far.
Okay, well, I mean, as you would imagine, after the 3-year hiatus, I mean, our patrons have been excited, looking forward to the return of Pump It Up since last year. And we are pleased to say we are back in 2023. As usual, we're starting with Carriacou on Sunday, March 26th. And here on the mainland, April 23rd. So as a matter of fact, for the patrons of the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, that's actually this coming weekend.
Yeah, this Sunday.
This Sunday. When we started, it seemed like a long time, but the time has crept up on us really quickly. The response from the public has been really overwhelming because people have been clamoring for it. As a matter of fact, the sales have actually exceeded our expectations.
Wow, that's good.
Because, you know, normally Grenadians tend to be a little last minute and laid back, and then come all April, you know, they're rushing to get t-shirts and so on. But we've seen a flood within the last 2 weeks. And I think apart from the walk, I think it's also the charitable aspect attached to it. And a lot of persons have been wanting to get on board with the initiative. So we're just saying to the general public there, we thank you for your interest. Come on out this Sunday for persons who have already registered. We have actually, both for the mainland here and for Carriacou, a limited stock of small sizes remaining, as well as some children's sizes. So we're encouraging persons to get your children in particular registered, right? And for the persons who are looking for smaller sizes, we have some of those. For Carriacou, the walk starts, well, we always start at 3:45 with an opening ceremony and warm-up exercises, both over in Carriacou and here on the mainland. So for Carriacou, we start at 3:45. We journey from the Harvey Vale playing field to the Hillsborough playing field, where there'll be some closing ceremony, entertainment, prize-giving ceremony, and such the like. Here on the mainland on Sunday, April 23rd, we're starting at 3:45 from the Montrouge playing field, journeying all the way to the National Cricket Stadium, where we have the same thing, the prize-giving, closing ceremony, cool-down exercises. And for persons who are wondering about the t-shirts, those of you who are saying, oh my, I did not get, we actually started registrations back in 2020, but unfortunately had to halt.
Right.
As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. So this t-shirt I'm wearing, if you're wondering why it looks so familiar, is because this is the same t-shirt that we are using for this year.
From 2020?
From 2020. So we will sold some in 2020 and a few in 2021. So for the persons who already have this t-shirt, we're saying to you that your registrations are still very much valid. So come on and get on board with us. Of course, that does not preclude you from making a donation to the Cards and Home Fund, which you can come into any one of our retail banking units to do. So we're encouraging you, you have your t-shirt, come on and get on board, and let's get pumped up for the Healthier Lifestyle Initiative.
But that's a nice pattern that I'm feeling and seeing, because only last week I was speaking with Rhea Murray from the GFA, and they too are having this issue of not having enough t-shirts. So it seems that this is one of the positives from the COVID pandemic. People have an extra yearning for this sort of activities. So that's a good thing. I'm going to come back to you. So, Mr. Guardian Group, Mr. Hughes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I could always see that. It shows on the glasses. And Guardian Group, how does it feel to be partnering along with such a worthy initiative?
Fantastic. We came on board 6 years ago when the Cooperative Bank approached us, and we considered it a hygienic and timely initiative for our company to show our good corporate citizenship. The bank's focus on health-conscious Grenada by promoting lifestyles, healthy lifestyles, is consistent with our group's overall corporate social responsibility. It's one of the pillars, actually.
Okay. All right. So it was a natural thing.
It was a natural thing. No doubt about it. Back then, Mr. Duncan, the former CEO, had approached me and a number of other corporate entities to become a benefactor. And we jumped at the opportunity from day one.
Okay.
And we have absolutely no regrets.
And Ms. Forte, being associated with this, and it must be noted that this has become sort of an event that is embedded in the national calendar of events for Grenada. People look for, just like people look forward to Carnival, the Carnival lovers, they are the lovers of the Pump It Up walk that look forward to this event. So I can only anticipate how they are feeling with it coming back on stream. Hence the reason why you can't supply the demand for t-shirts and so forth.
It's an opportunity for families to spend quality time together in a healthy exercise in a very safe and well-organized environment. I mean, that is why it's so well-organized. You know, when things are well-organized, people will always gravitate to it.
Yeah.
And I have to compliment the Pump It Up team at Coop Bank for a job well done in the past, and I have no doubt in my mind that this year, given the hiatus, that they're going to be going all out.
It's going to be phenomenal this year. The signs are already there.
Yes.
You know, the signs are already there. So it's going to be phenomenal.
That's not nice.
Yeah. Right. So, Ms. Forte, which part of the wheel do you roll?
Well, actually, I'm here to emphasize the importance of exercise, especially walking. And we cannot overemphasize how important walking is. Walking is a very simple for most people who has that ability. Unfortunately, for those who cannot, maybe they can wheel. There are numerous benefits because it can help to improve the overall well-being of an individual and help you to live a more healthier life in terms of helping to decrease mental health problems, helping to keep away cardiovascular diseases, helping to improve respiratory function, and the amount of memory, everything else that is healthy. So it's an overall thing for walking, and you don't have to do much if you can put one foot in front of the other. But what we would want to encourage persons coming off of COVID, we're not too sure how people are going to react to this because most people would have contracted COVID. We'd want you to get a general checkup by your medical practitioner. Get to know your numbers. When I say get to know your numbers, see what your blood pressure is, see what your heart rate is, see your blood sugar. And we want to encourage you to do that before, so at least you know what state you are in, before you go into this walk, because we may say that it's a simple thing, you just walk. Of course, we want you to have fun at the same time. For those of us who may not be as athletic, you take your time and do your best, because any amount of exercise is good enough.
Having said that, there's a question I want to ask. I travel very early in the morning. After 4 in the morning, I'm on road to get here. And I see quite a number of people walking. Quite noticeably, though, most of them are females. Now, the question that I want to ask is, that talk came up in a circle at one point as it relates to walking on the road, which is very hard, in comparison to walking on the grass, like, utilizing a playing field or something like that. What's your take on that?
The road, especially concrete, is very hard. Asphalt is a little less. Grass is preferred, wood is preferred. However, sand is also preferred, but then because sand is a little bit unstable, it can be a problem for some persons, and especially walking the beach, you may have that high and low effect, so you might have that you're walking into one side more than the next, so people may feel that they have a discomfort afterwards. But walking on the grass or the lawn is quite appropriate. But to combat this, people can walk anywhere, especially if you have the appropriate wear. We're looking at a proper shoes in terms of good arch support, a very thick sole that has a cushion to cushion your foot and to absorb the shock from the hard surface.
Right. Yeah. Because and from my personal experience, I know that it is sometimes, if, as you rightfully say, if you do not wear the appropriate gear, the shoes and so forth, it can be damaging to your ligaments and so forth. So I question that, because there's a particular individual, and I know he'll be smiling now in the ministry. He parks his vehicle, as a matter of fact, he lives close to a pasture. But he parks his vehicle, he drives away from the pasture, parks his vehicle way down and walks on the road. So I'm wondering the wisdom in that. But nonetheless, walking, we cannot overemphasize the importance of walking. It is the easiest of physical activities that you can do, and it is good. It is healthy for more reasons than one. Your cardiovascular system, your general physical, and so forth. But back to Ms. Coop Bank, the initiative behind the Pump It Up Walk. I read in the news not so long ago, it's going well, the refurbishment of the Carlton home. How is the general public, besides the Pump It Up Walk, have you all been, getting contributions towards that from other social partners and, corporate citizens?
Okay, well, we must say that our benefactors, like we have Mr. Hughes here from Guardian General Insurance, every year they would put a certain amount of money into the fund. Now, apart from that, as I said earlier, for persons who may not wish to purchase a t-shirt, some persons have been asking how they can contribute. And we are saying, yes, you can continue depositing directly into the Carlton Home account, which is established at the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. And we have made it easy. We have 5 retail banking units, right? So Carriacou, St. George's, Sauters, Grenville, Spiceland Mall. So it's very easy for persons to go into any one of the retail banking units to make a donation directly into the fund. I can give the account number for persons who wish to do so. The account number is 111-00-1623. However, if you do not recall the number, you just need to go into any one of the retail banking units and let the teller know that you're here to make a donation towards the Carlton Home Project. And also for persons who are registering as well, there's also a space on the registration form, and persons have been utilizing it to give an additional donation towards the fund. Because this year we were selling the packages for only $10. So we have seen where persons have been putting an additional amount. And also for persons, as I see, who have not gotten a t-shirt or you have the t-shirt from before, you can come in and make a contribution to the fund directly.
That's good. And as it relates to the start of the work on the facility,
well, that we will have the a little later on in one of the programs, we'd have P.S. Sandel from the Ministry of Health coming in to talk to us more about that aspect of it and our collaboration with the government on that aspect. So we'll have them coming in to talk.
A quick question: why the Carlton Home, though?
Because we have recognized that, well, first of all, since we started in 2009, we've done several different charitable organizations, right? Heart Foundation, Kidney Foundation, Cancer Society, and so on. And in 2016, someone came up with the idea of reestablishing a Carlton home, because we have recognized that we do have a problem with substance abuse, and we really do not have a proper place to treat these persons so needing the assistance. So we started in 2016 as a regular donation towards the reestablishment, and in 2017 we said this needs to take a more sustainable approach. So hence we invited Corporate Grenada. That's why we have Guardian General Insurance with us. We have Flo, we have Hubbard's, we have Antillian Group, Koyaba, Wagiti Rental Songs Company, Body Image Health Club as benefactors, because we invited them to come along. We said we need to take a more sustainable long-term approach, because this is an initiative that cannot be done in 1 year or 2 years. So when we started back in 2017 with the benefactors, we said 5 years, 2017 to 2022. Now, unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, we had a little halt there. So we're committed to doing it 2023 and 2024, because we had set out with an initial goal of $500,000. Right now, we're at approximately $350,000.
Wow.
So we have been going well. We're meeting that goal.
I mean, taking into consideration the break.
The break, yes.
Yeah.
Taking into consideration the break, I think that has been going very well.
So do you think after this walk this year, most likely you'll surpass that target?
Well, we're really hoping to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's difficult to say, but we're really hoping to. Yes.
I'm feeling that. Does that project end there? Okay, we've achieved our goal of 500,000, or whether it's we reach 700,000. Would you drop that project and take on something else?
Yeah, because as we said, since we said 5 years, and now we're extended for an additional 2, we think after that we'll go back, as was in the beginning. We shall continue with other charitable organizations. So we will continue to pick in other charities to donate to. So that doesn't mean it will be the end of Pump It Up. It is not the end of the Core Bank Healthier Lifestyle Initiative, because we want to continue to encourage our nation to be healthy, exercise, get involved, get moving, and let's just get our nation healthy. So we'll continue with other non-profit charitable organizations.
I wish you could really answer this next question. Whose idea was it to come up with this Pump It Up thing that has become a sort of staple?
Well, I cannot tell you exactly, but it was a committee within the bank. I can't tell you exactly. Okay. Yes.
That person deserves an award for that idea, you know, because people look forward to Pump It Up now. Mr. Hughes, being a part, your company being a part of this movement, I would call it. Do you see at the end of this, or when they would have achieved their goal of $500,000 or surplus, I hope, you continuing with Pump It Up?
Well, to start with, we've just signed an agreement to continue for the next 2 years. But we don't crash parties. We have to be invited.
I like that. I've never heard it put like this before. Yes.
Yes, but seriously, it depends on what the initiative is. If it's consistent with our vision and initiatives that we would get involved in, and I'm sure they would be, we would certainly look favorably at it at that time. But that's 2 years down the road. You never can tell what happens.
What could happen. Even at this present day and age, we still have people out there who do not see the significance and importance of insurance, whether it's life or health or otherwise. Well, vehicle insurance is a compulsory, so they do that. Would you use this medium, the Pump It Up walk, to sort of, even if it's mildly, give the participants some level of education on the importance of insurance?
Certainly. The bank has afforded us space at the stadium at the end of the walk to set up a tent where we would have brochures, giveaways, whatnot, and our staff will be on hand to answer questions if so asked, and try to educate. But you have to understand that that's probably that the end, 45 minutes an hour max. So with thousands of people there, it's not possible to
drop in the ocean.
Yes. But I mean, if you convince one person, you've done well. But this event certainly is along the lines that alcohol and substance abuse can adversely affect an insurance company, because one of the problems we have, you see the accidents out there. While there's no concrete proof that alcohol might be the cause, it's significant to realize that a lot of these accidents happen in the evening times.
Yeah.
So people having a good time and that.
Too good a time.
So it is beneficial to us to educate people to the ills of impaired driving, because it can affect they themselves, other road users, pedestrians. We just had a fatality on Bishop High recently.
2 weeks ago.
I don't know what was the cause of it, but straight road, fairly well lit, and somebody gets knocked over.
Okay. Coming to the walk, what advice would you give persons who've signed up, and in terms of preparation, how should they come?
All right, we would like to encourage persons to get the gears together. As I said before, now the shoe is one part of it. We want to encourage persons to wear, the t-shirt, to wear the t-shirt, and these, I hope, would draw moisture away from the skin so they can cool off quickly. Wear your hats, your caps, depending on the time of the day, if the sun is really hot. And we want to tell the ladies again, the earpieces and the wigs that may conceal heat and overheat you. We want you to look pretty, but we would like to encourage you to probably not come with them, because they can cause you to faint away if you get too hot. And we want you to, the walk itself is a 3-part event.
Okay.
You have the warm-up, which we encourage persons to participate in, because this is a time when the body prepares for exercise. It warms up the muscles and it helps them to be flexible. It slowly increases the heart rate so that it doesn't put stress when you start, boom, to go on the heart. And it generally warms up the individual for the walk and pumps you up for the walk. And we want persons to pay particular attention to that part. Also, the walk itself is the fun part. And then you have the cool down. And most people don't see the need for the cool down. But the cool down is very effective in helping to allay or delay or keep away muscle pain and stiffness the following day or a couple hours after. And persons may tend to want to walk away, they feel all nice and pumped up. But we need that little cool down. That's when you gradually get your heart rate and your respiratory rate back down to its normalcy. So we really want to overemphasize this, that it is a 3-part event and not just the walk alone.
Children, it's a family event.
Yes.
Someone comes with a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's okay. 5-year walk at its pace. You walk with the pace that you can. It's not a race. It's to have fun. Everybody go at their own pace.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to touch on?
Yeah, well, as you spoke about the children, as I said earlier, we're encouraging families to register your children. We have some children sizes remaining. We have prizes. However, the prizes are not for competition. They're not for who gets to the stadium first or who takes the challenge route or anything like that. It's just to encourage persons. We say it's a fun family event. So you can have a child get a prize for your child in a stroller, youngest physically challenged male or female, most registered male, senior male or female, largest registered community church, community group, school group, workplace, and stuff like that, just to encourage you to promote it as a fun family event. Come on out with the entire family, get pumped up, walk, move, exercise, and at the same time have fun. I mean, I must say, a few years ago, being on a committee, we don't really get to walk because we have other roles to perform, but I decided, no, I need to experience what our patrons are experiencing. So I did it a few years ago, and it was like Carnival Tuesday on the road without a fancy mask costume. You know, it was real vibes, it was real fun, we had a good time, and we just want to encourage persons to come on out, be safe. We'll have some health tips being promoted on the truck. We'll have the RGPF to help with crowd control and all of that. So we just encourage persons to be safe while you're having fun, and come on out and enjoy the walk with us.
Are you on the walk this year?
I'm not able to walk this year, but I'll be there as usual. But I'm just not able to walk this year.
In wrapping up?
Well, I would just like to wish the cooperative all the best in the efforts on this year's Pump It Up event. I'll be there at the start and at the finish.
Okay, I like that.
Not too sure you'll find me in between. I will be there at the start, and I would like to be in the stadium to make sure that the tents and so on
coordination
all organized, and to welcome the participants into the stadium. And that's about it.
Okay. Madam Physiotherapist, I presume you're going to be through the entire walk.
Well, I expect to be there.
Okay. All right. A quick question, though, before we wrap up. In terms of medical facilities, will there be like a roving medical team in the event someone has some sort of injury?
Yes, we'll have that for both Carriacou and here on the mainland. And one of the things that would be announced on the truck is the contact numbers. So if anyone has an emergency, the contact numbers will be publicized, that you can take note, you can assist, we'll have wardens and etc. and RGPF. So there'll be lots of persons to assist, to just get in contact with anyone, and they'll be able to assist both Carriacou and here on the mainland.
Okay. Wrapping up?
Yes, I would like to emphasize hydration also. And the need to eat before. Now the eating we recommend, if you're going to have a full meal, we want you to do that 3 to 4 hours before. If it's a small meal, you can do it 1 to 3 hours. And after the event, we want you to also have a snack or a meal within 2 hours of the event. And for hydration, we want you to drink 2 to 3 glasses of water 2 hours leading up to the event. Every 15 to 20 minutes, we want you to take 1 glass, and after the event, 2 to 3 glasses, so that you remain hydrated. We want you to stay away from caffeine and alcohol prior to that, because they are diuretics, so they would make you urinate and lose water quickly, and we want you to stay hydrated.
The walk is much more than I thought, man. It has a scientific approach to it and everything.
Of course, because it's all about a healthier lifestyle.
Yes, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we covered what we intended to cover.
I would like to think so.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, a final appeal. I know there will be more engagements prior to the walk.
Yes, we have a few more programs coming up.
Yes.
So just remind persons, what you need to do. We'll have other benefactors coming on board to say why they got involved in the initiative. We'll also have our health consultants again to remind persons of the importance. We'll have one with PS Andal, we'll have one with the RGPF to talk about the safety and so on. So persons will get sufficient information as we go along and as we prepare.
Okay. All right. Well, very, very, very thankful for your joining me here this morning as we promote a very worthy, healthy initiative. It's two-pronged. All right. It's healthy and it's for a worthy cause. So folks, go on out and support, be a part of it. It's a win-win situation, especially in the day and age in which we live, where we see a lot of dependencies on narcotics and so forth. The resuscitation of the Carlton's homes is a very, very, very noble initiative, and doing that, you get to pump it up as well.
That's right.
Folks, we take a break. When we come back, we have more. Don't you go anywhere. I've been speaking with the panel from representative from Coop Bank, from the Guardian Group, and my physiotherapist, a friend right here. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Thank you.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Boyo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up. I'm coming. Kite
Ibrahim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, you can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Shop at Southern Electrical for all your security camera needs. We offer a wide variety of cameras such as solar cameras with or without lights, 4G cameras, Wi-Fi and PoE kits, 4, 8, and 16 channel, replacement cameras for PoE, standalone Wi-Fi cameras, floodlights with cameras, watch cameras, pen cameras, and much more. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grand and St. George. Let us help you with your security needs. Southern Electrical, best value, expert advice, quality products.
Health, are you ready? Good. At the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, we have prioritized as well as branded the year 2023 as the year of mental health and wellness. So we are extremely excited about it. Staff is excited about it. So thank you very much. Let's rock.
Shift the paradigm, mobilize and get back
Grenada. This is the big one. The countdown has begun for the grand launch of Project Grenada Shifts. Safer, healthier, innovative moves for a transformative society. This mega event takes place on Thursday, 23rd March at Lassages Plainfield, St. David, with a massive health and wellness fair from 12 noon, a wellness walk from 5 p.m. led by Prime Minister the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and Health Minister Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lecret from the St. David Health Center to Lassages Springfield. Fitness drills, health screenings, loads of entertainment, and much more, all powered by Wakati Sound System. So register early to get your t-shirts and paraphernalia by contacting the Ministry of Health on telephone 440-2649, extension 21021, or the St. David Health Center at 444-6249. Mark your calendars and join us. Move that body. Take full control of your health and wellness. This event is organized by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs.
Grenada James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Feel good facts.
Help prevent cold and flu by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. That's the time it takes to remove most germs. No soap and water? No worries when you've got alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation this morning. It's 9 minutes away from 8 o'clock, and I want to say a very special happy birthday to Yolanda Alexander, originally from Birch Grove, but now resides in Dunfermline in St. Andrews. She is a teacher at SAS. Well, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from the entire home circle. I included, yeah, happy birthday to you, QT. All right, you're getting wiser, not older, okay? Old things we throw away. You're getting wiser. So happy birthday. Your son, Keon, wants to pitch in and wish you all the best. Happy birthday to you. All right, enjoy it to the fullest. I know your co-workers and colleagues at work, they're going to make it exceedingly happy day for you. Also, this is a strange one because I'm saying happy birthday to Michael Hutchinson. As you know, he's a twin. He's part of a twin. But Michael's birthday is today, and Mikey is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Mikey. Michael, my good friend. I hope you enjoy it. As a matter of fact, make sure we team up sometime today to knock a glass, all right? Yeah. Happy birthday to you, bro. And I wish you all the best and God's richest blessings, health, strength, and a long, healthy life to you. A little height too. Happy birthday, bro. And folks, this morning, with the time remaining, something that I want us to, I'd just like to hear your views on this. Minister Honorable Andy Williams is appealing to Grenadians to take pride in their country and cease the practice of littering. Now he's working towards surprising Grenadians returning home to a transformed Grenada. I cannot believe, I really cannot believe that in this day and age, we still have to be telling people not to litter. We still find people throwing out things from vehicles and, I love the initiative. I really do. I also, before I go forward, I want to say good morning to Bishop Bevis out there in Lassages. Good morning to you. So I hope I have the name right, yeah? I do hope good morning to you. He's attached to the Lassages Spiritual Baptist Church. Yeah, good morning to you and your wife and family. Hope you have a great day today. Right away, we have a caller on the line. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, morning to your listeners and your viewers. Now, the thing about it, you say you can't believe people still doing what you said they're doing. The problem with that, this should show the failure of our education system. Because we are failed to have people responsible for their acts. So they do anything else and they blame everybody else and everything else, the devil or whoever it is. So I'm just saying, asking people to do that thing will happen. We have to find a way to hold all of us accountable, to make sure that things are done. And if it's not done, somebody pays some kind of penalty. The other thing about it is that in the zest or zeal to do things, we could do more damage. Because I have been around where people want to do cleanups and so on, and they've damaged the ecosystem. So we have to be mindful of that also. So it has to be organized. It has to be coordinated. It just can't be a nonsensical approach to making the place look good. So.
Okay.
And I would use the word rather than pride, responsible.
Okay.
We have to become a responsible and an accountable people for everything we do.
Okay.
Time when people do things and get away, all kind of foolishness should be over now.
All right.
We need to ensure that the Litter Abatement Act is fully implemented. We need to ensure that already we should commend the solid waste people because they have been doing an excellent job in terms of timely and consistently coming to pick up the waste that we generate. This is a good thing. We need to build on that, and we need to also find a way to maybe I need to call out people's names too.
Okay.
Thanks. I don't want to stay too long.
All right. Thank you very much, Carla. Have a good one. 5 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That is the time. 435-2041. That is the number. Veronica Sandy says, good morning, Garden Innocent Joseph. Good morning, GBN, Grenada, everyone. Good morning to you, Veronica. Also, Cynthia Bay says, good morning. Yulin Alexander, of course. Good morning, Garden. Good morning, Grenada, Carla, Coop, Matnik. Blessings to all on this new week. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Have a wonderful, productive, and safe day and week ahead, everyone. Alistair Warwood Sr. says, blessed new week, fellow Tri-Islanders, home and abroad. GBN and host Mr. Innocent. Let's have a productive week, y'all, and stay safe. Mildred Smith says, good morning to the host of the program, Mr. Innocent, and to all the beautiful people of Grenada. Stay safe, stand strong. I'm listening with you. All right, thanks for listening, and let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. All right, caller. Well, you know, I'm sorry. I'm not in the habit of cutting people off, but I think by now, just as we all should know that we should not be littering, we should know that when you call, you turn the volume of your television or radio down. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Innocent, I'm calling with regards to statements that were made on Friday by your last caller about the late comrade Prime Minister Morris Bishop. Innocent, I think that caller needs to apologize to Morris's family because she made some very damning remarks. Some of it were totally fabricated, and I think she really needs to apologize and show some more respect to the dead.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. And, well, I hope that caller is listening and will do some introspection and deal with this accordingly. Cynthia Bay says they are doing because we like to see ourselves on TV saying we cleaning up. All right, you mean people coming together to clean up? Okay. Heaven Hill says, I saw a policewoman in Grenville throwing the paper from her straw on the ground after getting a drink, dressed in uniform and in front of many people. Okay. Yeah, so we have to lead by example. All right, 435-2041. Let's see what's happening on our WhatsApp platform. Someone says, good morning, Innocent. What day is the health walk in St. David? I don't think there is one carded for St. David specifically. What I can do is find out if they, but I know it's St. George. I think they're walking St. George, yeah. Good. 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 435-2041. That's the number to call. And if we do not have a caller in 30 seconds, we're going to pull the plug because we've got some commercial to run. And then we've got to head to the BBC at 8. So this is your final opportunity to be a part of the conversation this morning. Going 1, going at 2, going at... Okay. Folks, thank you for being a part of the program this morning. Those of you who called, participated in any way, whether it's on WhatsApp, Facebook, or otherwise, thank you for being a part of it this morning. Want to say thank you to the team of the guests that were here as they promoted the Pump It Up Walk. This is where we take the break. We'll be back after 8, after the BBC. Don't you go anywhere. Stick and stay with the network because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.